one of the supervisors here, and I'm also an audio engineer. Kind of to touch on what you're saying, how important would you say, I know you kind of talked about it, but how important would you say it is to place emphasis on gear? With the multitude of software and doors on the market that produce relatively good quality, but how important is it to go to the hardware store and have an assortment of that in your collection? I know you talk about the investment part of it and it paying off like on return, but I guess I'm wondering, when a customer or client comes to you, or you with a client, is the decision-making process as they choose to come to you because of your expertise or because of the gear, or what is it?
To me, they come for the expertise because they heard about us through somebody. Another thing I do with branding, again, every CD that I've done, we stamp it with my logo, and if you need CD, DVD manufacturing, call this number.
Right.
It's as simple as that. You know what I mean? And the other question about the equipment and the way the technology changes, like I said before, get smart people around you. If it's over your head, get somebody that, like the cats that are around me, they laugh at my laptop because it's a 2-year-old laptop. They get laptops every 3 months. I can't do that, man. I can't change everything down there. So, you know, but these are the cats that's around me. I mean, they really, you know, like I said, if it's over your head or what have you, you have the genius of branding and marketing ability, but leave other things in the other people's hands, but make sure that they know what they're doing and they're very sharp and ambitious about what they do, passionate, you know, like how I am with my business.
Well, exactly.
The passion has to match. We're a family at my spot. We be singing and dancing and skateboarding and riding bikes.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let me add something, because you mentioned you're an engineer. You
Yes.
teach engineering.
Well, no, I'm one of the staff as a lab supervisor. I don't really teach like in class, but I assist with technical issues and you know, with as far as any kind of issues they may have on the console and stuff like that.
Well, he talked to me about yesterday though.
Right.
Well, I guess I was just going to add to something I heard you say. I thought you said you were an engineer, and a lot of times one question that always comes up, the engineers and people who are artists and singers, make sure you get the best equipment you possibly can. That way you don't have to use many plugins to read correct. If you bring it in right, it's going to come out right.
Right.
So that's the key in getting a really good sound. So always invest in whatever the best you possibly can. And most of that now, these days, are just having a great quality mic, you know, in your room treated. That's just that simple. You can use pretty much any processor. Some processors sound a little better, than maybe warmer, darker, brighter, but at the end of the day, it's just a preference. It's easy to do it. It's easier to do it right the first time around, opposed to trying to go back and fix it. But that's just for all these engineers and rappers and stuff.
Awesome. Thank you.
Terrence, let me ask you a question. When you're talking about CDs and so forth, let everybody know what's going on these days with CDs, and you know the cloud and everything, and how everything's getting away from CDs.
It's becoming the dinosaur, but the one thing that keeps the CDs relevant is the fans. You know, with the Akon, for instance, he would say, hey, press me up 100,000 CDs. He would do a venue that's about 200,000 people. What they're doing is, inside the venue, they're basically selling the CDs for like $5-10. Outside, Akon's very smart. Outside, they're giving it away, because he feels and has a mentality that the people that's outside, they couldn't afford it or they couldn't, whatever. So he has a street team give away the CDs out there. But I'm sorry that blew off. The CDs, as a fan, they want to go to their car and stick something in.
And have something physical in their
Unless you're throwing out jump drives, because we did rent a car the other day, and it was horrible. We got a bag of CDs with all our favorite, the new Z and all that. And we get in a rental car, and we down the freeway. And everybody's going, yo man, put in my CD. We like, nah, me first. And we can't find a CD player in the rental car, right? So we're like, nah, man, turn around. Ain't no CD player. And, you know, it just let us know as a manufacturer, you know, that, whoa, you know, that's like, wow. Like whether you want to or not, they're getting rid of CDs, you know. So that's why I did the print. I'm in the print also and other things to sustain my family. Because I've done the CD game for like 20-some years, you know. We'll start selling the equipment probably next year.
What about the DVDs though, Blu-rays?
That's about to be gone too. I mean, the way everybody's on iPads now, and you know, you got websites almost like a Netflix where you can store your movies. If you're like, my mom's got the satellite in the car, so we riding and I'm watching movies. You know, from her collection, but I'm watching movies. You know, that's stored already on wherever she put it at. But it's you know, I was like, wow, Mom, what you know about this? She's like, I didn't know anything, how to work it. You know, technology is definitely pushing the physical out, but the fans, to me, as a strong manufacturer, is what's keeping it irrelevant. Because I've been with a Mystical, and you know, they want to stick in his CD, right? And like we were taking pictures outside the club, and everybody's bumping it that we gave a CD to. Ain't nobody throwing it away. You know what I mean? Busta Rhymes. We was in Miami with him, and the same thing. Like, Terrence gave me 5,000 CDs, and we just listened to the parking lot, and just because we just like, boom. So the physical part, yeah, but hell, the car manufacturers are just cutting it out.
Thing, it's still viable. I think that makes sense. I mean, Jonathan, I know you got to be selling CDs at all your shows.
Oh yeah.
And it's part of the merch.
Yeah.
Thanks
to Terrence down there. I keep quite a few CDs. Wherever I perform, I sell CDs. I mean, it's right there. People love it when you sign it for them and hand it to them. They feel connected to you. And I see a trend going back towards vinyl. There's a lot of people opening used record stores, and people are buying vinyl. And all of a sudden, you see new artists printing their new stuff on vinyl.
Terrence, you do anything with vinyl?
Yeah, we shut that down a long time ago.
And you're not.
No. You know,
not dealing with that.
Nah, you gotta come back a little stronger to get strong.
Yeah.
So been back to that because that equipment is very expensive and it's a time
fickle.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But Jonathan also has download cards. He does that
I
too.
do have CD Baby works wonders for me as an independent artist. You send your stuff in, they load it up, so now you got digital downloads. Not only that, but they send me these download cards. So now, when somebody wants to hear me and I don't want to give them a CD because I paid money for that CD, I give them a download card. They can get the same music, but it doesn't cost me as much to give them, you know, and they can get a sample of what we do. And that works wonderful for me. And these are things you should be up on if you are in the music industry right now. You need to be up on your CD Baby, your Sonic Bids, your Reverb Nation, your arts commissions. For example, I'm part of Tennessee Arts Commission, and that's how I'm able to get a lot of these school gigs. You know, if you want something to sustain, like you said, to sustain yourself, you know, while you're waiting or preparing for those large gigs, this is an excellent way to do that, and you're giving something back to the community at the same time. You know, so wherever you're from, Georgia has an arts commission, arts council. Every state has one, and they're receiving grant money, and that money is set aside to give to artists that are going to the school system. And you can go into it teaching whatever you want to teach. I mean, whether it is, for me, I'm doing songs like What's Going On, because that's a song that came out of the Civil Rights Movement, and it ties into the history. But you can go in there are ballet dancers that go in, and they teach point, you know, brief point, and they get the kids involved. but these are things that are missing in schools, so they're hungry for it, and there's money set aside for it. And if you don't tap into it, it's just gonna sit there.
What you're saying is like, it's kind of about intuition. You just gotta, you see an avenue that's gonna be coming up, kind of soon, it's gonna be making money, and you just gotta kind of jump into it, whether you know whether it's gonna work out for you or not. Is that the case a lot of the time, or you just like kind of have to go out on credit sometimes? Because to be honest with even with SAE, like, just went out on a limb with credit, I'm just hoping it's gonna come back to help me out in the back end. So is it like that a lot, or is it like, well, no, we see where this is going now?
To me, intuition. I mean, EDM. Anybody here familiar with EDM?
Yeah.
See the whole room. Look at this. I'm new to EDM. My boy DJ Speedy, super producer Speedy. I don't know if y'all heard of him, but Speedy's done Outkast, 3 6 Mafia, Destiny Child. I just keep going on. He's done Beyonce's hits. But it's me and Speedy riding, and he's like, Terrence, I want you to press up 10,000 of these flyers. EDM. I'm doing these EDM parties. So he's like, come out. So I was like, man, what's EDM? I keep hearing about it. So I went, and it was off the chain. And then he pressed up another 10,000 flyers. So I'm getting my attention with EDM by him pressing up all these flyers. But I'm also paying attention to the movement of it. And now, we're starting to do promotions for EDM parties. You know what I'm saying? And it just was riding in my boy's truck and watching him go at it, and the market being so big, and it kind of, from what I understand, it's not new. It's been around for a second. It's just I'm old. So you know what I'm saying? But I'm tapped into it. You know, it's my question. But I'm tapped into it, and I love it too. It's just nice, man. It's different, you know what I'm saying? So.
All right, any other questions? Here's one.
My name is Greg. I'm a songwriter and a musician. Had a quick question. You guys have touched on it a lot, and I'm learning a lot from what you're saying. But could you expound a little bit more on your revenue streams? I know you do CDs, you book your own tours, and I know you sell CDs, you gig, and you have alternatives too with your distribution. But can you guys just expound a little bit more on alternative revenue streams and how to pull it all together?
My advice on that, if I see things going down, or if I got to do something, I'm not going to go. A lot of people's like, well, I better go get a job. I'm not going to go get a job. If I go get a job, if I had to, it's going to be at a music store. But you know what I mean. But what I would do, I would go teach. While I'm doing, I would get private lessons. Do you know how much parents pay me to teach their kids to play the violin? Or not beginners, but even intermediate or advanced violin players that want to learn how to play by ear, that want to learn about jazz. So it's still in the family of what I'm doing. Maybe it's not on the stage gigging, but I'm making whatever an hour teaching somebody's child that people don't know about. Also, I don't do weddings or anything like that, but every now and then, if somebody call me, Ken, and if I ain't doing nothing, I got a 50th birthday party. I got 10 grand, can you come and play my, yep. But see, that's not gonna be on my website. You see what I mean? So I'm taking private gigs, but you see me at Center Stage, you see me at the such and such jazz festival, but you would be surprised on all the artists that still do little things to supplement. I know someone that got a radio show because he's a personality. Use that, and get paid on the side because he worked really hard to get his name out there, and he's bringing something to the radio. You got to have something. So when you do what you do so well, and you love it, all that stuff, all these different avenues will come. I mean, it just happens. It happens. I get requests to do all kinds of things. The TV, can you write? Yep. Can you produce a TV show? Yep, I sure can. And you just got to do it, It's all associated. Don't think if you're a singer, that's all you gotta do is just be a singer that, no.
Anybody else want to jump in on that?
Yeah, I'll jump in. Wow. I act.
Right.
I'm in an opera this weekend, Carmen J. over at Clark. The singing, of course, but I also rent out my sound equipment that I invested in.
Right.
And I got subwoofers, I got 15s, I got mics, I got cords, I got a couple mixing boards. Now, I'm not the greatest engineer at all. Like, I'm gonna ask this brother, can he give me some lessons later on? But I have to, right, I got you.
Always comes back.
Right, I thought enough of it to invest in having my own equipment. Yeah, I mean, there's not a lot of singers out there that have their own equipment, but it's almost imperative because it's making money and I don't have to be there.
That's right.
You know, and I also on the side I build soundboards. You know, the sound barriers to capture the sound. You know, I learned how to. I went on YouTube and learned how to do it, and I sell them. I build them and sell them. You know, so you do whatever you got to do.
The other thing about having your own, the other thing about having your own equipment is you know what your sound's going to be every
Right.
time you play. You're not relying on anybody else.
Right, right.
So
You know
that's the
the
crucial
sound's
point.
gonna be there.
Yes,
Yeah.
I know it's gonna be there because it's in my trunk.
Okay.
How you guys doing this evening? Marquise. My question was, I know it seems like I'm a rapper, and it seems like nowadays it's more rappers than there are fans in the United States. Could you give me some insight into your overseas business and branding and your overseas, like how much attention should you pay to your overseas?
A lot.
Yeah, that's what I'm
That's
thinking. Like I would rather
60%
market
of the
over
industry right now.
over
Just from you being able to
overseas.
states is, like, who is he, what does he sound like, That's where you get into the quality of what you send them, so they can pay attention to you, stuff makes it master right. Right. That's gonna speak out for you.
Overseas.
Yeah. If your stuff's clear over there, they messing with it.
Yeah.
They can understand what you're saying, even if they don't speak the language, but they can, your sound, sonic is.
What is the status of the hip hop industry now? You hear a lot of rumors that there's really no money in it, but then you hear some people saying that there's money in it, but you got to know how to get money in it. So from your industry standpoint, what is the money flow looking like in the rap industry?
Is that my question?
I have no idea.
Well, from conversations, let's put it like that. Rap music is not so much the music; it's the support from the people, fan base. And that's why you're saying EDM. Yeah, look at the fan base; they're gonna come out and support. And you can do a hip hop track, and you might have 200 people in the room, but only 5 might buy you a CD. So it makes it hard on the artist to even be able to make a career out of it. One question I felt like, I don't know, but it seems like the question I felt like somebody should have asked. When I was in school, I didn't have no money. So it seemed like the question that should be asked is, if I'm in school and I don't have a job and I'm trying to do my music career, how do I make the music work? Because as soon as I get out of school, I'm going to have to pay these bills. That should be the question, I think, that a lot of times, like, that all of us have experienced that, a similar, either that or a similar situation. It's real important, again, we keep saying network, go and intern. If you don't have any relationships with nobody, find somebody who does and say, man, let me help you. It's a biblical principle to the whole thing, and helping somebody else with their vision, it helps you with yours. Because at some point in time, you're gonna build enough relationships and especially if you do a good job and have a spirit of excellence, you're gonna, in a great attitude, always be able to let people speak into your life. Then you're gonna go a long way.
5,
4 of my interns have been with me for 6 years, 8 years, and 12 years.
And they're still not
And
getting
they
paid.
still here.
So don't feel like because you're an intern, you know, that's the dead end road. No.
I kept my folks. Still.
Yeah, and in fact, that endears you to them when they come in and they show that effort, you know, and you want them, you want to give them a job later. Okay, we got just a few minutes left. We'll take one more question, and then I'm going to have our marketing director come up and say a few words.
Hello, my name is Jariah Tarknet. I'm a singer, songwriter, musician, etc. I hear y'all, I came in kind of late, so I don't know if this question has been asked, but I find myself, you know, I'm trying to get out there, get my music heard, me and my sister. The thing is, I wanted to know, like, well, first of all, fortunately, I just heard you say, you know, when people get out of school, they have to worry about paying bills. Fortunately, I'm a veteran of the United States Marine Corps, so I don't really have to worry about that. So with that being said, would you say that it would be more beneficial to get out and try to look for somebody to push my brand, or build my own brand and get out there and try to push that?
If you're going to put effort in, put it in your own thing. That's how I feel.
Yeah, let everything else come to you with that.
So don't really try to go out trying to look for a record deal, make your own record.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you want to create a demand before you go to them.
Build the
'Cause
leverage.
if you came to me and I don't know you and I feel like I'm gonna make you, well, you know, I'm trying to keep most of the bread. But if you coming to me and say, yo, I already got a fan base like this, you know, 10,000, 20,000
Doing
strong
shows.
every time I'm doing shows, I got at least 500, 600 people coming out every night. Okay, well, cool, let's work out a partnership. See, my conversation changed.
Yeah, you gotta bring something to the table. Yeah, it used to be one of those days where labels hear you singing in the shower. It's just not like that anymore. They want you to be established already.
I take artists all the time to labels. They think I don't. And by me being a CD manufacturer, it also puts me in the A&R position. So if I do your CD and I hear it, I'll take it to a label. It's now me telling the label, first thing they go is, what's his tweeter like? And I'm going, are you serious?
Yeah.
I'm sitting there going, are you serious? Like,
Yeah,
he sounds good though. Listen what he sound like.
Right.
I'm
They
like,
don't listen to what it sound
I'm
like.
like, I'm like, you sound good, you should get a deal. But the label's like, what's his social like T? He need to bump his reverb up or blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, he
blah,
need
blah.
more
And it's
followers.
Like, well, damn. You know, okay, we're gonna put the clicker on them.
Which goes to show you what their whole goal is anyway.
Yeah, you know.
They're trying to capitalize off of your fan base when you can be capitalizing off of your own
Right.
fan base.
Yeah, well, you can just set where you at and just make
Sell
your
direct.
Yeah.
About somebody like an Avery Sunshine.
Oh, I
She's,
love her. Yeah.
I mean, she's independent, but what she does, she has distribution deals with record labels in Japan and the UK.
Yeah.
But she's still independent. And I think that would be the goal for an independent artist or anybody that's coming up instead of a record deal.
Right. Distribution is the key anyway. That's all you're getting with it. That's the gut of the record label deal anyway. It's the distribution mainly, because they necessarily don't have to market you if they don't want to.
And most times they don't.
That's why they want you to come with all,
With all your stuff already,
promotion.
so they won't have to spend so much money on that part of it.
You gotta think it's real simple. You need to know the right people. So it's just like I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
No, I was doing an artist recently. His name was Jay Sean. Jay and Jay decided he wanted to do some stuff independently. So what he did, all the PR people he had hired with Young Money, Cash Money, he went in and hired them himself. He was like, yo, I just hired these people myself. And that's what he did on his second record. So he hired most of those people. So you can find out who are the key people who have the relationships. Right. And you just pay them. Say, look, I don't have that kind of money, but I got this kind of money. Keep it 100 with them. Don't be afraid to tell them where you are.
I'm not on the label, but I love your work. Can you do something with me?
That's right.
You'd be surprised.
Because I might tell you, oh, I'm 2,500, and you, oh man, I can't afford you. But don't stop there. Still, so
Right,
look,
exactly.
I can pay you this if you can work with me. I get you up to that point. We can make it happen. You know, people, if they like you and believe in you, they'll help you.
Or I work out a deal, or I give you such and such amount of money on the first such and such CD sales.
Yeah.
you know?
Keep your publishing, use that.
In closing, I'd like to say, first of all, thank you to Africa for pulling this wonderful panel together. I'd like to say thank you to Noe Vallejo, who is our audio engineer tonight. And our video crew, please, in the back. I'd love for you guys to give yourselves a hand in the audience because you were wonderful with your questions. And I'd like to personally thank Jonathan Blanchard, Ken Ford, Al T, and T. Mims. And just so much appreciate all of the wisdom and all of your time, and we look forward to having y'all back sometime soon.